Key Reiki. Today we have Cody Webb into the studio. We're trying something a little bit different right now. Okay, we got the Riverside app so I can do remote podcasts. Now I know quality is important to me. I like that in-person meeting together. The vibe is different. It's a different program, but I wanted to be able to give you guys more content, so we're trying this out. We're going to give this format a try. I just did a little talking session, interview with Cody Webb. It's lots of good stuff in there. We talk about the US Hard Enduro series, his time on a four-stroke, what he's been up to after the Hard Enduro series, what his future plans are. Just stuff that I would talk about with if I gave him a rank. So this is a nice little conversation with Cody. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments and if we should start making more of this kind of content or less of it. I'm just having fun. I'm genuinely curious myself. So big part of the podcast is me just getting to talk with people that I like about things that I like to do. Dirt bikes, hard enduro, challenging the body, mind, all that stuff, and being the best you can be. Check out this episode. A quick word from our sponsors. First and foremost, Beta USA. Okay, these guys have been huge for me. I've been running the 300 two-stroke and the 250 two-stroke all year long, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving the lightweight chassis of the two-stroke. And these mountains, I'm in Idaho right now, I can just whip that baby through the trees onto throttle. I love the way the bike handles. It does everything that I want it to do, and that's that. Slavensracing.com. These guys are my preferred retailer. This is where I get all my mooses from. Plastics, engine parts, any filler material. They got climb gear, CD boots. They have everything that you need to get on the road riding and racing. They got Plus tires, another preferred tire. The tough one in the back is the sticky tire. It's so nice. I'm going to be running the stiffer ones at ISDE this year, but slavensracing.com is they're not just a retailer, but they're a resource. They're a resource for you guys if you have any questions about what you need. If you don't know what you need, hit them up. It's by the riders, for the riders. So you hit them up. You're going to be talking to a dirt bike guy that's been in the game for a minute. Hit them up, get what you need. And also, they regularly donate to organizations that put a lot of time, money, effort into lobbying to keep our dirt bike trails open. Okay, this is a huge problem in the whole world right now, but we're losing dirt bike places to ride dirt bikes rapidly, especially with this liability and insurance brutality that's going on in the industry right now. So your dollar with them is a vote for keeping trails open. It's not just a dollar spent, it's a dollar with a mission. Last but certainly not least, Bulletproof Designs, Haas certified, build aluminum, protective equipment for your dirt bike. These guys, they came to every hard enduro round this year. Bud and his crew are such awesome people. They stand by their product. They'll replace it if you break it. It's made in the USA. No tariffs on this stuff. And they're house certified. Give them a shout. That's all you need to know. Hope you liked the episode. Peace out. Welcome back to the studio. We got Cody Webb. Cody, how's it going, brother?
It's going good. Just I feel like I'm catching up on normal life activities ever since the grind of all the hard enduros all over the place, and then going to Erzberg, Silver Kings, and now I feel like I've neglected things on my house for months. So trying to, finish the trim in my basement. It's been almost a year now, so I might as well try and get that done.
Yeah, the hard enduro season's a lot, but coming off of it is always like such a nice break. We get to chill a little bit. What else have you been doing? Basement work? And how are you? You came off the 2F, so have you been riding that thing at all?
No, I honestly, I ran the stock clutch actually at Silver Kings, and I had like 2 late nights trying to get that bike up and running. So I'm actually running like a hydro clutch that doesn't come stock on the 250F or on the Yamaha in general. So I was trying to dial that in with Recluse, and I just couldn't quite get it to work right. I had a different master cylinder on, like a test one that was all billet. It looked super trick, but I was having issues with that. I barely got the bike honestly ready in time for Silver Kings because I was dealing with the clutch, and I was actually going to race Sunday after Donner because we raced the last US Hard Enduro round in Donner on Saturday. I was still kind of battling getting the clutch right, so I was like, I'm not going to race. I'll just figure it out. So I actually sent my hydro clutch setup to Recluse to try and help them dial that in. And then just today I got a different style clutch pack to put in there. So probably when we're done with this call, I'm going to go head to the garage and try and tune that in. So I was debating racing it at TKO. I think it would do good there in like the slippery creeks. But ultimately I've decided, like, I've done so much on the 2-stroke this year. I know it works. So I'm going to be on the 2-stroke for Endurocross. And tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit of engine testing stuff. Yeah, like testing stuff for Endurocross, kind of prep. Hopefully that clutch works so I can kind of get.
You'll be on the 250F, the 4-stroke for Endurocross. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Have you ridden on, is that what you're doing all the clutch work for, is to get it dialed in for Endurocross?
Yeah, I want to have like the confidence in it. And like I could run it right now with a stock clutch, but that comes out of my parts budget from Yamaha, so I might as well use my allowance with Recluse, which I don't think is existent. Like I just kind of order whatever I want from those guys.
On the 4-stroke, it sounded like you were revving that thing out a lot at Silver Kings. What was the motor like? Could you see it being like actually good enough to do a lot of hard enduro riding with? And have you ever tried just the straight 250F motor without the big bore kit?
I've ridden the 250F just very, very little at my house, and that's honestly what made me want to try it at a hard enduro. I feel like Silver Kings necessarily wasn't the right one because there's like some massive hill climbs there. And in the past, I feel like the climbs weren't as big as they were this year. So, and I missed it last year, so I kind of forgot what the race was like. And I think it would have been better if I raced that bike at Locked and Loaded or something like that. The previous US Hard Enduro round, I think it would have been better there for sure, with like the trails and the bike's so planted, there's all those loose rocks everywhere. So there was definitely portions of the track where I really liked the 4-stroke, and especially going up Milo's Creek, like I felt as if Theodore and some of those other guys looked like baby deer trying to go up the creek, like crashing all over the place. And I caught up to him from like being behind him on the hill climbs where I was struggling, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? And I just was just sitting down, and the bike was doing all the work for me. So it was tracking so good. So I definitely was revving it more on the wide open hill climbs, and plus we're at 6,000 feet, right? So like I'm going to be down on power even at sea level. So the fact that we're around 6,000 feet, that hurt me. And I'd never really posted about it. I was almost kind of embarrassed about myself, but I ran like a soft map setting to give it more fuel, basically to get more fuel in the engine, keep the cylinder cooler so it wouldn't get as hot. That was a concern of mine. So what I didn't realize was it presets the traction control settings. So I actually raced Silver Kings Hard Enduro with wide open hill climbs with traction control on level 5 out of 10. And I didn't realize that till I got to Donner when I was just playing with like the map switch. And I was kind of mad at myself because I feel like it basically was cutting out power when I was wide open on those hill climbs.
Maybe that's what I was hearing.
Yes. Yeah, pretty dumb on my part. Not proud of that one.
Because it would almost like it would like retard the timing a little bit.
Exactly.
Maybe.
I'd be like wide open forever on the hill, and then I would downshift a second, and then I'd like upshift again to third. So I feel like I could have left it longer in a certain gear, but yeah, it was like retarding the timing to try and keep the rear wheel from spinning. And
does it help at all? Do you think it helped at all?
I mean, there's a good chance it probably helped in Milo's Creek because I felt like I didn't have to try through there. So yeah, you live and learn. That was the first race doing it. So, and that's why I like wanted to race it again at TKO, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough time like with getting the clutch set up. And yeah, I would only have one bike. Like that's a long way to go in case I have an issue or something. And my other bike, I just took all the suspension off this week and dropped it off to get Endurocross settings on it. So like it's sitting in my little shop on a stand, and like it's too much of a pain, too much going on for me to get all that ready.
Totally. Do you ever think about riding the 2-stroke at Endurocross?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it at first, and then I rode it at Grinding Stone, and I definitely have a better motor setup now, but I struggled there. I felt like it may not have looked like it, but
you did. Yeah, on that one trip, on that one quad out of that matrix,
I
couldn't
didn't
clear
mess with it.
Yeah, you're like, wait, I'm like, oh, I just don't think he's got the oomph on that one.
Yeah, so the bike, if you're in the right RPM, that thing absolutely rips. Like I swear it's faster than any 300 if you're in that right RPM range. With Endurocross, a lot of times you're like kind of starting from zero and like, whoa. And with like before I decked the cylinder and changed the port timing, no matter what I did, high compression head, this or that, like some stuff fixed it, but I kind of had that little bit of lag. It's like a turbo lag. Whereas now I kind of have the power more instantaneous. So I could debate doing it now, but I don't know. I'm kind of committed to the 4-stroke side of things.
How's Yamaha, what's their perspective on your whole effort so far in the Hard Enduro series?
I think they're pretty happy about it. Like I think just in general, they only wanted like a presence of someone being there. So like the fact that I went and won Moab, I think they were like almost surprised by that, and they were really stoked about that. So they're just happy to have someone there and have representation, and like someone like myself like putting all this effort in. It's not like I'm just riding the bike and like surviving, and kind of like I'm doing a ton of like my own development because I want the bike to be good. And if someone else wants to do it, pretty much everything I'm doing, I'm sharing online so anyone else can copy it.
Totally. And it makes sense. I mean, there's so many YZ nerds out there that just love it, dude. Yeah. And they just watch your videos and they're like, oh my God, where's Cody Webb been my whole life?
I had like some guy messaging me literally this week from like Europe. He had like showed me photos of like this contraption he made to like hold his cylinder in the lathe. He's like, how much should I cut? What should I make my squish band? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be like an expert. I just like, this is what worked for me. If you want to try it, this is what I recommend. And it's working pretty good now.
It's like when a doctor tries to like give you that side advice where they're like, listen, I'm not saying you're going to die, but most people that get this die.
I don't know if it's quite as serious as that. But,
okay, maybe that was a little too much on the example.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, there's definitely like, I'm kind of at a point now where I've done so much, and I don't know if I'm just burnt out on the development side of things, but I know I can make things just a hair better. And like for TKO, I'll just have like a very small, minute change. But like as of now, the bike is pretty damn solid, and compared to where I'm started, I would say it's not near as fun to ride, but it makes your life a lot easier when you're trying to race it.
So you mellowed out the power band because when it's like it's so fun.
I gave it power sooner now. Like now the bottom is there lower in the RPM. So it's got that, which is kind of the biggest thing I think for hard enduro. And then it was a matter of I had a really good setting at elevation with a high comp with Arcade Tech, and then next thing I went to Battle of the Goats, and I literally couldn't ride the bike. It was you touch the throttle and you spin the rear tire. I was like, this bike's it's unrideable.
I mean, the good news is you found all this out, and you put so much work in this year with developing that it probably will make the next couple of years quite a bit easier, and then you'll be able to kind of build on top of the momentum that you can do some of the other things that you've been wanting to do. Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like, did all the hard work now, still a little bit I can do, and I'll be actually able to like focus on riding and training next year, or instead of tinkering.
It's pretty gnarly that you still do like the whole hard enduro series and enduro cross and like other stuff in between. Like I think about you all the time because I'm always like at home chill. I'm like, man, I just want to be home for a little bit. And I'm like, well, what about Cody? Fucker's gone all the time, got 2 kids, comes home, maintains a family life. Like, dude, it's a lot, bro.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where like, and like another thing is like, everyone expects so much out of me. Like people are like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you come down here? Hey, can you post this? I was like, dude, like at a certain point, my time is where like, you just need to pay me to do this because I don't want to do it for you anymore. Like I can't keep doing this stuff for free. And like, yeah, I love the sport. I want to see it grow. But at the same time, I need my own goddamn life back, guys.
Totally. I know. And
like I'm already gone enough on the racing side of things. And then I got people bugging me all the time. I just have too many people bugging me.
What do people bug you about mostly?
They want to know this. Hey, what should I do with that? Hey, can you give me one of your stuff? Yeah, can you give me one of your radiator things? Can you give me a fan? Hey, how do you wire this? And like, I'm like, dude, just watch my goddamn YouTube. It's there. Like, I don't. And honestly, like race weekend stuff, like Gator was helping me a bunch, but you know, that's coming out of my own dime. Like I have a budget from Yamaha, but when I'm on the East Coast, it's really convenient because Gator's already there. But you know, Gator has a family too. So I fly Gator out to my house. We fly out early. We prep everything. And then, you know, I have to pay him for his time when he's at my house. Like this guy needs to make a buck too.
Right.
So that's a big like expense for me, right? Like $600 flight normally to get him out. And then we're working together the whole time. I'm paying for everything. So, you know, and then Silver Kings and Donner, like I was, you know, it's unfortunate that Riley Bender was hurt, but I was like, hey, you're coming with me and I'll pay you to help me because he's a kid just ambitious to do stuff, you know? So
like, it's a perfect opportunity for him, honestly.
Yeah. And we have fun. Like it's a fun trip. And, so yeah, like he helped me out, I help him out, but like he's never torn the YZ apart before, so he's putting bolts back in the wrong place, and I'm like, no, this goes here.
Plus he's just like, a kid.
It's an easy mistake. Anyone would make. I'd make that mistake if I haven't worked on a YZ before, you know. So I basically told Yamaha, I was like, hey guys, like the bike can't be that much better. My concern is now these guys are walking the whole track Friday. I can't trust anyone to work on my bike, so I only get to see one section, and then I'm still like hanging on to these guys. Like imagine if I had the time and ability to like I'd rather have like 100% confidence in like my bike setup, and I'll just get through the first lap and then I'll figure out the track from there, you know? That's kind of been my mindset lately.
Get to the first lap and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Seems like it's working.
Yeah, I'm getting by. But then we can talk about this. This is what I want to talk about.
Let's talk
US
about
US Hard Enduro Series. These freaking guys, they just ride the whole track. Like, granted, the track's not marked, but they ride all the sections. And then we get to the first hard part, and like Ryder LeBlanc is gone, and just Gap and Tristan and I And my race, like, then I'm just playing catch up. And then we go to Moab. They hadn't ridden there. And I was like, what are these guys doing? Do they forget how to ride a motorcycle? Like, how am I gapping these guys? Like, I felt like I wasn't trying at Moab and I won the race. And then I'm at Grinding Stone and these other races and I'm trying I swear I'm pushing as hard as I can the whole race. And like, they're still gapping me. And I'm like, something's going on here. We need to change.
Well, that's the hard part
this.
about having riding area on public land, right? Is you can't really shut it off. I mean, what?
And other ones are private, right? So like,
yeah,
Will lives close to Brushy. Ryder goes down there. James Flynn's down there, and all those guys are riding. 3 weeks before the event. I don't have that time. I'm too busy tinkering on my bike over here.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like you're probably one of the only guys that it like really seriously affects. And actually that's not true because you got like Danny Lewis's and like you got all these other guys that they're doing it enough to be able to make it to the races, but that's kind of about it. They're not able to like live on the road for weeks at a time and just be able to do whatever they want. And I guess that's the advantage you get when you're a young kid with nothing on a factory team with nothing else going on. I mean, they have less than a 16th of the amount of shit that you got going on. 0 kids, 2 kids, 0 bike work. I mean, like 0.1 bike work scale. You're at a 10.
Well, I seen the bikes they drop off to their mechanic.
Oh my god, it's like, guys, this is just disrespectful.
I've never had a bike that hammered, and they do it in like a month.
Do you wreck this thing on purpose? But that's the advantage that you get, and then you get to be like your age, and your life kind of expands, and you have to have more time for the rest of your life, and then you can't just dedicate all this time. But it's like, what do you do about that? I think no course walking. For a race like Page, I mean, I think closing this riding area is like 3 to 4 weeks before for racers, but I don't know how you would track that. And no track walk. I think track walk's a joke.
I don't like doing it.
Well, it kind of provides an advantage for those guys once again, and honestly, even more so than that, is it takes away from the racing. I think like,
well, and even me, like I did track walk at Donner in the whole first part of the track, and like I went from like 4th to almost like 2nd right on the first section because I took a different line when Will went down, and like I capitalized on that. Whereas like if we were all racing, it would have been a different story if everyone came into it blind. Totally. And like it also takes away from the racing because I feel like the ability to read terrain is seriously so That's supposed
much.
To be a huge part of it, yeah.
Yeah, this is off-road. It's not motocross, right? If you can see the course, or 6 days, right? Like you can see the course beforehand on that. Like that's kind of standard procedure. But this is hard enduro, off-road. You can't, I don't think it's good to see it.
Yeah, reading
even
terrain
off-road
is supposed to be a big part of it.
Yeah, and honestly, like even any off-road races, I would prefer ISD, any of them.
Well, yeah, we go to a national hare scramble. What do we walk? You park your bike and you like walk to the first turn. You're like, cool guys, this looks good. Let's
you go like the first like 10 turns, and then you're like, okay, I'll figure it out.
That's
but
what I
don't know.
Prefer.
And I don't think, and I always did the best at races where I didn't walk. Because I was just relaxed, I didn't care as much, and
pressure wasn't on as much.
Yeah, and I was looking far ahead, so I was reading the terrain instead of thinking back to where I thought that I wanted to go. Like all that kind of stuff. But I don't know.
We'll see. I had a long talk with Josh, the mayor of Hard Enduro, after.
Yeah, what did that look like?
Just trying to like figure out like a format. I think we need like some sort of consistency to like make the series better. Like obviously really good for the amateur side of things and good for the pros.
A lot of people are calling for that.
Yeah. Even sponsors, like Red Bull's not even a sponsor of the series, but like my own athlete manager at Red Bull was like, you guys just need some consistency for your championship so like it actually grows.
And when those guys say that, I mean, they're talking about consistency of format or like consistency of like everything else about the races?
Consistency of like the format style of things. So that way there's like everyone shows up, sponsors know, spectators know. Like, what is it? The World Downhill Cup changed a lot this year for mountain bike racing. And it used to be on Red Bull TV. Now it's like on Discovery or some other BS. I haven't watched a single one because like it just got too hard for me to watch. I don't care anymore. So I just watch the highlights. But they have like a set qualifying thing now. And like it's the same thing every race weekend. So people know what to expect. And it is cool. Hard to know there's like different formats for different stuff. But like, dude, I don't want to race Tough Like Roar for 6 hours ever again.
I don't know anybody that does, honestly.
Besides Rob that sets it up for us to suffer for 6 hours.
He doesn't want to race it because he's the one making the race. I mean, I think this is where I think like more... Well, first off, it's kind of hard because I think the inconsistency of format, or I should say the flexibility of the format, is what can contribute to the uniqueness of these races, right? Like it's hard to treat a page, a grinding stone, the same way you're going to treat, you know, a battle of the goats or anything else. But I still do see the value in a consistent format, and like think that finishing off with the pros doing a short course where we can actually like go in, you know, if like Battle of the Goats or Virginia could like trim out like these big hillsides, just trim out like a whole hillside, like all the tree shrubage, all everything, leave one big log across the up, come back down, you know, and make as big of a spectator areas as possible, and then brand it all really nicely, and then be able to clear out the tree so drones can drive it, you know, fly it really easily. And then now you just really consolidate everything for a main event that really showcases the pros. I feel like that's really important.
Yeah, I think so too. I want something that's like a little bit longer though, and a little more like, I feel like, what is it, Grinding Stone? I feel like that's a little bit longer of a loop. It seems like it is, at least. Like, I think Grinding Stone, you can make something work, like kind of Battle of the Goats this year, where Saturday we have a 2-hour, 3-hour race that's like hard but slower pace, not quite as intense, like a mountain style race. So like we have all the mesas at Grinding Stone, and then on Sunday we just do, you know, early afternoon, 1 p.m. we do the start like we do now and do a very similar race where it's whatever 2-hour final. And even like, it wasn't even US Hard Enduro Series this year, but Silver Kings, like the mountain race I thought was really sick Saturday. I feel like it could have been like a little bit more hard sections, a little more creek or something like that. And then Sunday or whatever, Saturday, the second day, like the final for all the pros and the A's. I thought it was good. I just didn't really like the track. It was very blind, and then became one line on all the hill climbs because you couldn't see shit in the dust. And I screwed myself on this. Like I was just screwed, and I was playing catch up the whole time. Whereas I feel like that race could have been like a hair longer in the final, like course wise. Because I did too many laps. I was so over that race course after lap 4. I didn't even want to do it again.
Yeah, so maybe you got to front load the first couple days of racing with more riding so that you can shorten up that short course so that you don't have to do 1,000 laps on a short course.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like,
so do you
that's
think
what enduro cross is for. Like, we still need to do a short course where maybe we're doing 4 laps in 2 hours or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. What do you think about like a 3-day format? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know about 3-day. I mean, we could do that. I think basically on Saturday would be like a long race in the morning for like the B, C's, and B riders, like very similar course, but easier sections. And then, you know, in the afternoon again, A's and B's would race and do more or less the same track, but way harder spots to kind of beat us down before that main event on Sunday. So you're doing, you know, like a GNCC-ish race lengthwise, like 3 hours or something Saturday, and then the finale on Sunday. So it's more spectator friendly. Battle of the Goats is cool because you kind of go in and out and come back to the pit, and like, even though the course is long, you come right back in and then go out again. I think it was that way this year. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
On Sunday. So, but then how do you do a best out of 2, like a motocross overall, you know, like you go 3-1 on the weekend and for first overall, or do you count the first one as a prologue? Because a lot of times, honestly, my only goal on Saturday's race is just to be in the top 5, and I hang out there because I don't need to push myself that hard, and I let Will Reardon ride like I don't want to say maniac. He just goes freaking fast, dude.
He's fast.
At it.
He's
so
fast.
Like, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and get 5th, so I'm on the front row for tomorrow. So like, you make both rounds count, then everyone will be trying a little bit harder.
Totally. Yeah, and you know, you could do cumulative time, or you could do. So how much do you get to win Hard Enduro? 30 points?
Yeah, I think it's 30 on the weekend.
So would you make, like, if you had a 2-day format and you had a race on Saturday and a race on Sunday, could you make each race
each round
worth
be 30 rounds? Yeah.
Or no,
and then
each race be worth like 15 points, so you split them up between the two?
I mean, if you look at outdoor motocross, like granted it's Moto 1 and Moto 2 and it's the same track, but you know, you can score I think 50 points on a weekend, like 25 and 25 per moto. So you can do, it would just be more points in the year, but then there's more variance.
Yeah, I think more points is probably good because there's more opportunities for guys to win. You know, like a Will Reardon can go win a prologue and then keep the points.
Or if you have a bad race one weekend, like there's more opportunity for you to make that back up again.
Yeah, or honestly, what you do, you know what a good thing to do, you could take the main race on Sunday and then you could just you could give bonus points for the Saturday prologue. You know, top 10 get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 points.
Yep.
Or some
That's
shit
what
like
you go
that.
about to do. So that way people are trying a little bit harder and not just being like, oh, I'm front row.
Keep them racing.
In ninth, it's fine. I'll hang out here.
What do you think of the schedule? Do you want more races? Do you want fewer races?
I think we start a little too early, especially for me this year.
January.
So King of Motos is cool, and Justin does a lot of work on that race. I felt like this year wasn't my favorite. It felt like everything was like a downhill this year. And then like the final uphill was sick. But, gravity always works downhill. Like anyone can go downhill. So a lot of times we piggyback off the Hammers publicity. But like this year they had no helicopter. There was hardly anything going for us in terms of like the live feeds. I think viewership was like way down this year, whereas the previous year they were testing out all their cameras and stuff for the week on us. So I think budget is tighter for Hammers than it used to be, probably because all the government logistical BS they got to deal with permits and insurance and this and that, I'm sure. So I don't know. It would suck for Justin to lose that race, but it's kind of like no one's really prepped and ready going into that one. At least I wasn't this year.
No, I'm not. I'm never ready for King of Motos. And I mean, and that's not me saying that I don't like King of Motos. I think it's a great place. I think it has tons of potential, especially if you did a short course thing right there out of the pits. The problem is, the parents and the girlfriends, they come and they don't get to watch. And all we talk about is we need to get more spectators, not just about more spectators, but more viewership. It's about bringing the sport to the people. And we just can't get people to do it. It's like, bruh, set up a short course right outside of camp right here. Please, double ribbon it, and it could be insane. We could film the whole thing. We could see the whole thing, and it would be exciting. It's just, apparently that's a longer, slower transition, making these things actually happen. And that's where, like, I think there's some races that would be better off standalone events.
Yeah.
Like not part of the series. Not that makes them lesser than. I think, like, look at how Erzberg and Romaniacs is doing, not being part of the series. It's those are doing
They're
just as
huge.
They're still huge. So you don't need the series or an organization to be huge. And those guys all ran GoPros at that race. So
Yeah.
so it's like it can benefit you to have standalone events. I think that my preferred vision of the series would be like almost as like few events as possible, meaning we have like
go all out on those
go all
events.
out, make like 6 great events like with youth classes, and like make 6 great events that families can show up to, have a great time, do the whole thing, race
Make like a kids class Saturday afternoon or whatever.
Yes,
Moab kind of had like a Stasic thing or something.
Exactly. And I think it's important to start getting these 65s and these 85s in, dude. There's a lot of really good little hard enduro kids, and you don't make them anything too crazy. It's like a trail ride for them, it's like, it's just fun, but get them into it, because if you don't have a course and a class for the minis, then dad's probably going to go race sprint enduro or something, which are also great series where him and his kid
65 class and the 85 class.
Yep, and they could race 2 days, and they can have fun, and they can come back to the pits, and they can enjoy their race weekend. But typically, these hard enduros are hard for families to enjoy. We need to make this easy for these families to enjoy. We want these people to want to come out and provide for them the same way we want to provide for the vendors. If we got a 2-day event, now our vendors, Bud at Bulletproof was like, this has been the best hard enduro. We've been selling stuff all day. We sold out. At Battle of the Goats, he's like, because there's stuff going on all day. And, his point was like, dude, there's action all day. There's races all day. There's people rolling around. There's people coming and going. And it's better for the vendors. It's like...
Yeah, they're selling stuff.
They're selling stuff.
Product.
Yeah, because there's stuff going on all day, there's like... The pros are kind of in and out and around, so people get to meet them, and just like the camaraderie of the campsite is what is important. And man, I'd like to see like 6, 7 killer 2-day events that are just ultra fun, and in a pattern where you can hit them and it's economically feasible. Because the problem is, it's not easy out there in the streets. People don't got. Dude, think how much it costs you as a professional that does this for a living to show up these races. I'm getting paid to be there, and
I'm doing it like as cheap as possible.
Right now. And as Gator says, these people are paying full retail. Yeah. And he's right. These people are filling up their campers, they're filling up their bikes, they're putting new tires on. It's not worth it. It's not worth showing up with an old tire, throw a new one on. They're throwing everything they got at it. Everything they got. It would cost a family $5,000 a weekend easy.
Oh, yeah. especially if you're taking the motor home and all the food. And so, yeah, I mean, ideally for me, I think like 6 to 8 rounds, but like make them killer races. So like we'd have to lose a couple rounds, but I'd like to see just like a more uniform setup. Like we talked about, like a similar format, like same format for all the races, but then like having like someone who actually knows what they're doing besides someone like going like, oh yeah, here, this is where the vendor row. But like have a legit pro thing where everyone's tight. This is where you need to be. Everyone's tied together so it looks good. Have the branding there. Have all, and like some of the races definitely have that, but we need that at every race. And that's why I think like a Saturday thing of, you know, the B's and C's race, their own race, and then the pros race, their race after. So people are kind of there from, you know, 9 a.m. till 4 in the afternoon.
Pros and A's with pro splits.
Yeah, I like that too. That works too.
Because if you're gonna make it a 2-race weekend and you're gonna have a big mountain day race, then it's worth making that a good race. You know what I mean? You don't want to just throw those guys out on like a so-so course just because we got to do 2 races. Like, no, make that like the mountain race. Yeah,
like Battle of the Goats this year, I think our qualifier on Saturday was like 30 minutes. And remember, I broke my rear brake off, so I was just like putting on the downhills this year. And I was like, this is done already? Like, I was here all day for a 26-minute qualifier, and this is like what we have to ride at here. So
give it to them a little bit more on Saturday, you know, give them give the pros a real 2-hour, 3-hour race where they got to battle
like wear us down more for the next day is kind of my thought. And like not kill us like tough like roar 5-hour kill us, but like
3-hour,
a solid good race. And then that way the B and C's have like an appropriate race for their level where they're out there for multiple hours and they're not just like on the first hill for half the race. So I don't know. That's my thought. We can go on and on about it.
Well, I think it's important to talk about it and just like create some discussion and some thought around it.
But like I even went, I think like, who knows? I mean, I don't know if I want to get into this realm, but I went and looked at a venue in Colorado on Monday this week, and like, who knows if it ever happen or not, but like it's private land, huge ranch. It's within 20 minutes of Pueblo, Colorado, which is like a big shitty city. A little rough on the fentanyl and areas around there. But, you know, it's got everything you need in amenities 15 minutes from where the race site would be.
And crack.
But like, it's all these different crazy drainages canyons. And I'm like, man, you can set up like a UTV spectator loop and have the course run separate from the road so people can drive their UTV along the road and then pull up and like trying to find a way to get spectator to watch. And there's like 6 main drainages that all flow into this main road, and you can make the course crisscross. You can make it come up and then like go in another drainage and then come right back over to where it was. Like I was just like, my mind was just going crazy on how to make a sick track that people would love and spectators want. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like, you have other crap you need to worry about. You're not even like, racing yet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I totally get that. You gotta like check yourself. Like, okay, no, we're not gonna do this right now. This is something that I want to do. I'll put this as part of the long-term plan, not the short-term plan. Maybe when things settle down a little bit, I'll put on a race. And you know, that's actually not a bad idea for guys like you and I. You know, maybe someday we do put on a race. We put our money where our mouth is and try to put together the best race. Whatever.
I mean, Quinn's done it. I haven't done Quinn's race, but
I heard it's good.
Yeah,
I heard it's good. But you know, I think you're good at networking too. You're like a big network guy. So it's like,
I don't know. I know people. I've been around for a little bit.
It's good though. Yeah, and like you seem like you're always friendly with people. So it's like just making those connections, finding the right property. The properties are out there, is what I'm saying. The right people are out there. You just need to find the right meshing for it and figure out what they need and figure out how it would work.
Like,
and
here, you get a $20 gate fee. You get $15 every guy that comes in. You know what I mean? Every spectator.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just keep chipping away at this thing. We'll see. I'm curious to see what Matt decides to do with the schedule and all that. I mean, like, if you had to choose, like, 6 or 8 races to be a part of the series, which ones would you choose for?
I don't know. I mean, Hawaii is awesome, but, like, come on. Like, logistically, guys, it doesn't make sense. And, like, I know the Hawaiians come and race over here, but, like, that's their choice. Look at Velo this year. He's been on the West Coast or the mainland all year. So, like, I think we almost need to start with Grinding Stone, to be honest. I don't know. I love Hawaii, but I'm thinking of everyone else, even myself. Once my miles run out, I want to go there with my family. It's a cool vacation area. I run out of my United miles, and I'm going to spend a fortune just to even get there.
Well, and if you do January, February, no races, then that's like enough of a break after the holidays and shit to like, okay, let's get our shit back together. Let's get started for the new year, March. And I also feel like Grinding Stone would make a sick round 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that as well. I hate having to leave Hawaii out, but and like King of Motos is so early, and I feel like Hammers is just too much of a pain in the ass to deal with. Like Justin is probably just pulling his hair out every year just to put on that race for the passion of it,
Totally.
And it would be cool, like if you said there was like a sick short course, all gnarly stuff right there, I'd want to see it in, but I don't want to just like ride stuff we've already done. But then it's public land, so it has to be existing trail. I think there's some sort of thing with that, so it's tricky dealing with BLM. I think he has to show him his whole course and then be like, oh, nope.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess Grinding Stone. I really like Moab, but I think that place is, I don't know, I feel like that landowner's tricky too to deal with, it sounds like. But I like...
It's hard to count on them when they're tricky to deal with.
Yeah, I like that venue. Like the terrain is cool. Like it's not crazy gnarly, but it's just an absolute beatdown. Like that's kind of the hard enduro I like. And then Battle of the Goats, that one's pretty much a staple. That one needs to stay. It's a good venue. It's kind of far out there from anything, but we have the private land and the ability and the guy who wants to do it. So if he's still willing to do it,
feel
I
like,
go there.
Dude, and I feel like Tyler has not unlocked the full potential of Battle of the Goats either.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just him and his crazy mind going out there and cutting stuff with some of his buddies. Like,
yeah,
he can only do so much.
Yeah.
We'll send him up there.
Yeah. We've been out cutting for 2 weeks.
So yeah, Battle of the Goats. Then where do we go? Roar.
What about Virginia? Do you think Virginia could make for a good race? Too far out? Not close.
I didn't really like it. Maybe it could be. I haven't ridden the area. I only rode there that one time, and I was like so over it. I was like, bro, I've ridden 32 miles of single track ripping, and I rode like one off camber new cut trail for what felt like forever, and like my right hip was sore from having to like only stand on that one peg. And then I like thought I was done, finished all the hard stuff, and I did like 6 miles of single track to the finish. I'm like, what? That was such a waste. I didn't want to ride. I'll race a national enduro if I want to come ride this stuff.
Do you think that, I mean, the property obviously has the potential, if the course was like full hard enduro, like the format we're talking about, would it be more interesting?
Yeah, I guess it could be good. The hotels aren't too far away. It's a gnarly little short, steep road to get up to the property. But once you're up there, I feel like you can have a sick like paddock area. It was a little weird this year. The numbers didn't seem right. I expected more for that race, to be honest. But yeah, if it was like this year, I don't want to go back.
Fair.
Yeah. And then Roar, I really like riding Roar, but like just the whole pit setup sucks there. It's like,
bro, that place is brutal.
Dirt. Yeah. I'm okay with riding there though. Like I'm probably the only guy that'll say that, but I do like riding there.
We're gonna have all these Pennsylvania boys down our backs like, hey man, don't be bagging on my area like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but it ain't that great.
I just said I like riding there. I would race for the terrain. If it was Sugarloaf, if it was Sugarloaf camping parking area,
yeah,
the terrain there, send me back.
Yeah, the problem is, it's not.
It's not. Yeah, and like, dude, Keystone Challenge, Matt. There's been a US Hard Enduro group chat last 2 years in a row. Every time I'm like, F off to your Keystone Challenge, guys. I'm 35. I don't want to put me through Roar and then go race Sugarloaf or whatever it is.
Well, I think originally it was
like
a way
IRC
to get both.
Is like, IRC is a big sponsor. Bud's a big sponsor. Like these guys are doing like a minimal effort at Roar and then shimmying back quick to like logistically, it sucks. Like put them on back-to-back weekends. Like when I rode the US National Trial Series, we'd go all the way. We'd race New York, and the next weekend we'd race like Rhode Island, or we'd go and we'd race Pennsylvania. Next weekend we race Rhode Island. Like you don't do this stupid pack everything up, go ride the next day thing. Don't do it. And Tristan was like, yeah, let's keep doing this. I love Keystone Challenge.
Yeah, let's do another one on the backside of this one on Tuesday.
I'll show you the text. I got the text in the phone, Tristan supporting Keystone Challenge, and my old self was like, no, it's dumb. Get rid of it. And my thought process is like, we're losing entries at Roar because people want to save their self.
And Shotgun.
Day. And then people are like, oh, I want to save myself for Shotgun. I'm not going to ride. Like,
You're losing entries.
You're losing entries on both sides. back-to-back weekends. Everyone already spent all the money to get there. Most of the people racing it are East Coasters anyways. The pro guys, the factory's going to be there anyways. KTM will leave a van at Chuck DeLulo's house, and they'll fly home for the week and work, and the mechanic will fly back out again. I'll just stay out there for the week. Like,
no. I think you have one Pennsylvania race. I think you go from Battle of the Goats, and then you go to Pennsylvania. And I think the Tough Like Roar Club is really good. They have their shit tied up tight. So from the series perspective, like, that's an ace.
Yeah, and for me, I like riding Roar more, so I'm going to sign up for Roar.
Okay, well, we either need to do Roar or, you know, something else in PA with that club. You know, I don't know if there's like any other properties or anything like that, but dude, the problem with Roar is like Tamaqua. Place is just, it's not a joy to be.
Yeah, getting an Airbnb is tough there. We're all staying in Hazleton, which is not a crazy long drive, but I don't know.
But we just go from these epic locations like Page, Arizona to Battle of the Goats, like these really beautiful, unique, like very awesome areas, and then we go into like Tamaqua, like Tough Like War. And no, like I said, no shade on the people that live there and that work on that property.
Poor
I think
Thorne.
It's great.
Sorry, Thorne.
No, last time I talked to Thorne, he's like, "Get me out of here." He's like, "Dude, I'm just trying to get the fuck out of PA." It's just Tamaqua, and I don't have a problem with Tamaqua, but it's beat. It's done. It's just like, it's not great.
It's a little rundown looking.
It's a little rundown. And then the other problem is TKO is in August, so then it's like, okay, now you got to come back to the West Coast, and then you got to go back to TKO again. And, you know, maybe TKO is one of those races that's okay not being part of the Premier Championship.
And it has its own thing, like, hey, we're TKO, we've been this for this long, and this is what we are.
Erzberg style, you know, and it's like, unless they can move their date, unless we can go Battle of the Goats TKO, and then come back to the West Coast, now that would be dope, but they're not about changing the date. So if we can't get them to change the date, maybe they're just a standalone event. You know, that's a great thing.
Yep.
And then we can go back to the West Coast after Battle of the Goats or TKO.
I mean, I like Donner. I know there was some issues this year trying to get Brian to cooperate with everyone, but I guess I would have had a different outlook if it didn't snow and rain and hail right before the race. But dude, Donner was sick this year. Like, the track was dope. The dirt, like, I don't know. And I'm from that area, so I know a bunch of people. So I feel like Donner could still be better than what it is easily, but Donner's still sick. I feel like there's too much potential at Donner if it's done right.
Well, we need our own weekend then.
Yes, that'd be nice too.
And if we need our own weekend, then we need to find a weekend that's not on the same weekend as Silver Kings, and also not on the same weekend as Brian Garahan's race.
District race.
So if we're going to do that, I'm not sure how that works, but would it make sense to be a part of Silver Kings? I feel like that is such a sick race, and if that could be the final West Coast round of the US Hard Enduro Series, that'd be pretty mint. I mean,
that is a big, this is numbers-wise, there's so many people there.
So many. It's a great venue.
Yeah. A nicer ski resort than Donner as well.
Everybody's up here. Everybody's like coming up to Idaho for the summer anyway.
Yeah, well, it used to not be like that. Now it is.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, it sounds like we got down to like 6 races. So like Grinding Stone, Moab, Battle of the Goats, something in PA. Not leaving you out, PA. And then hopefully, if it was our choice, TKO. But I don't think that's our choice. So then no TKO. So then Silver Kings.
Yeah. And Donner is just, I think it'd be too hard to make it right, because Brian has to have both things to fund his program weekend there. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think
that's what I mean. Tough. If you do, look at what Silver Kings did, right? Like, if you do Silver Kings style like weekend at Donner, it's not going to be as big, but like you can still pull a ton of people, especially if it's like kind of around the same time frame. Only at a hard enduro if you like promote it and pump it up, right? But like, I don't think James Stearns definitely lost money at Silver Kings. I don't know how you could have made money with his whole thing he did. And like, that was my concern, is like, is this a sustainable platform?
You're the only one that had an answer like that.
Everyone's like, this is awesome. I'm like, dude, what happens 2 years from now when James spends like, he's 150K in the hole 3 years in a row of like losing 50K each race or something? Who knows what it is? I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know anything. He may not have lost money. This is just my perspective on like, yeah, there's a ton of people there, but like Silver Kings is making money off the lift ticket. He's really only making money off the entry fees. He's getting sponsors involved, but like he's having to pay a bunch of people. I'm sure he's getting free help, but like you're not going to get free help forever.
Well, dude, and $100,000 goes quick when you're operating like that. You're giving away money like that, dude. And like $100,000 is a lot of money in this industry. If you can pull in a title sponsor for $100K, like I still don't even think that would, but I also think that he's the type of guy that would invest his own dollar in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like give his own dollar just to be like, listen, we have the biggest. Well, it's just so he can say we have the biggest payout race, and it really puts you on the map. And maybe, that would be, it's a good point. It probably would be tough to sustain it. But, for a guy like that, sometimes it's worth it even if he can only do it one time.
Maybe I'm just bitter because I didn't make a single dollar this year at Silver Kings. That could be
That's possible. That is possible.
Dude, they paid out for Friday's mountain race. And like, I felt like I was honestly going to pass Will, but then my bike overheated because I like caught up to him at Kingslayer or not, whatever, Wharton Pass. And I had to stop. So I like caught up to him, was on his tire, stopped. I let Wade pass me. And I was just sitting there with my bike idling, running the coolant through to like cool it down. Because obviously we had to race the next day. So like I lost my top 10 position there, day one. And then day two, I think I was 9th. After like being back in 20th or something stupid on the first lap. And Billy and I were just like riding like idiots out there together. So I was 9th day two, but then they didn't pay by the day for day two. They just paid for the overall. I'm like, God damn it, James. So I sucked. Okay, it's fine. I didn't get paid. That's what you get. I deserved it.
Oh, it's tough because those kind of weekends are costly, dude. They cost money, time.
Yeah, and then a whole another thing I was mad about was... Like, I didn't really know the ruling, but, like, they should have stopped because we went up Kingslayer at the finish, right? Like,
yes.
You do all those laps. Like, Mitch Brightmore, no one pointed Mitch Brightmore to go the right way. So then he lost a position, and then the FIM got involved. But, like, so I was, I don't know, 20-something minutes behind when I got there. And, like, I went up and got up Kingslayer. And I almost passed Billy at the end because I don't know what the hell. He was just burning coolant in his tire on that last hill climb. I didn't even know I almost passed him. So, like, Alfredo... was behind me in 11th, but he went up Kingslayer and threw his chain and lost a bunch of positions. And that put me top 10 overall on the weekend. So I was like, sick. Top 10 on the 4-stroke. I get paid. But then the whole Mitch Brightmore incident happened. And then the FIM called it at that checkpoint before. Alfredo went from like 14th to 11th. And then that screwed up me on the overall. And it screwed up Ryder LeBlanc would have been 4th overall on the weekend.
That's insane that they just took that section completely out. That seems like kind of a wild decision. Like, what's the purpose of even having that section in anyway? You would have thought that.
And then I found out on top of that was like, if you weren't within 30 minutes of the leader, you didn't get to go to that final section anyways, but they still sent Alfredo, Graham, they sent Connor the wrong way too. James Flynn went the wrong way. They all started doing another lap, and like Cavello. So like I technically was the last official finisher in the race, but no one ever told us you had to be within 30 minutes of the leader. Everyone just let us by at the check. So I mean, they were supposed to let me by, but they were supposed to stop everyone else. Everything went so good except that, and like it screwed Ryder LeBlanc probably out of like $4,000.
He got the worst of it. He got the worst of it because he went from like 4th to like non-8th or something. And it was like brutal for him, but I feel like they didn't consider him because he like, and it's kind of a real tragedy because a guy like that pushes hard on the last lap and makes up a couple positions on the final hill climb. He plans it out and he's like, all right, let's fucking drop the hammer. I'm going to make up a few positions, makes up the position, passes Billy Bolt on the final hill climb. That's like a huge career thing. And for them to be like, oh,
doesn't count.
This guy didn't get hit. Yeah, we were just taking this out. So wherever you were before that, you're like, dude, what? I was racing based on the course that we had to race. And now I felt so bad for a rider. You would have thought that they could have, you would have thought they could have cut out Mitch Brightmore's
that place. Like, hey, you cross here, this is what place you get, and then everyone else after that gets.
Well, cut out his extra regular lap that he did, and then just add in his time through Kingslayer, and then wherever that placed him. But then Mario and Wade were like, well, of course his time's going to be faster than ours because we were pushing each other off the mountain. So it's like, okay, well, then do you add, a penalty for Mitch? I think even putting Mitch's time in and providing a little penalty would have been better than taking that whole section out.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, even last year they added an hour to the race with like an hour to go. They're like, oh shit, no one's going to finish.
Totally.
I wasn't there last year.
But also, not to throw shade, these are tough decisions that whoever's making is making with the best
FIM guys that made it.
It's not an easy decision to make.
And Mitch didn't deserve to get like 15th place or whatever the hell it was they gave him.
Right, because he deserved to, get
Be
pointed the
third.
right direction. Things just go like that sometimes, but I will say the rest of that event seemed very well organized,
It was
and
sick.
it
It
was
was a good
good.
time.
Well, good shit, Cody. What do you got coming up? What are you doing? What's coming up for you?
Is the next one. Anything else before that? I don't know. A couple other random things, but not really. TKO is basically the next race. Prepping for that and looking forward to going back there. And I'm hoping it rains because I'm tired of sprinting. I need some grit to deal with this year. I need more grit.
So gnarly that you're like, how old are you? 37, 36?
37. I get worked by those guys when it's like medium enduro and they're just like sprinting. And I get arm pump and then after an hour I get rid of my arm pump and then they're too far gone for me to catch up again.
Totally.
So I just want it to be messed up from the get-go. Slow the pace down.
Slow the pace down where you can like really utilize your bike skill and your experience rather than just your sprint speed.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
That's hard enduro.
Yeah. I got to be good at everything.
Yes, sir.
I got to be better.
You gotta be better.
Yeah, got to be better.
Always working towards the better thing. It's practice, being better is practice, whether it's on the dirt bike or in life. That's all you can really actually do is just keep practicing, just keep going back to your principles, go back to your values, go back to what's important to you, and just keep trying to do what you think is the best thing to do for you. And that's all that you can do.
I guess that's still just being out here racing and having fun because it's better than office life in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Well, doing it for the right reasons too, right? Like you're doing it because you're having fun. It's sick that you're still doing it and that you still like it that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just afraid of anything else.
Everything else might be easy compared to this though.
Yeah, well, I'll figure that out when the time comes.
Ride this train until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And going at this rate, a guy like you, you can just pretty easily transition into the next thing. Like from my perspective, like looking at you as a person, as a racer, like yeah, you're racing, but like I feel like that's just one aspect of what you have to bring to companies, sponsors, yourself, the industry. Like you have R&D experience, communication experience, education. Like bro, you could really do whatever you want whenever you want.
Yeah, well, I'm not there yet, so I'll keep doing what I'm doing now.
You're the man. Well, I'll let you get back to your evening. Thanks for coming on, Cody.
Yep. Later.
You're the man. Later.